this set up. Alright, let me get in this. Got Devin Haney versus George Kambosos for the most underhyped rematch probably in a while since Triple G Canelo 3. Safe to say it wasn't all that anticipated. Most of all because it wasn't the first fight really wasn't good. I'm really late. Get this shared. Let me mute that before I get a copyright strike. So, Devin Haney, George Kambosos 2. Again, not a very hyped rematch, but it's a rematch nonetheless. We also got Robert Helenius and Deontay Wilder tonight. So, not the best fights in the world, but it's boxing. Compared to the past few weeks, it's much better than what we've had the past few weeks. I'll get into that more on how disappointed I am with boxing so far, but let me share this stream. See if I can get my tags up and stuff. Either way, I have the same thing happening in this fight. What adjustment? What's good, Tahoe? Glad you were able to show up. Who you got winning, Kambosos or Haney? I'm just hoping it's not going to be I wouldn't say the first fight was a bore fest, but it definitely didn't, in most people's opinion, it did not live up to the expectations. I personally enjoyed it. I enjoyed the boxing lesson. Haney too good. I just don't think Kambosos is skilled enough. After this, we've seen enough of this little duo fight, this rematch. I think it's time for Devin Haney to move up. And all right, let's go. I got Haney again. Thank you, CKT. Everybody pretty much should have Haney in this fight. The same thing is going to happen. He's just going to outbox George Kambosos. They both look weight drained coming into this fight. This will probably be Devin Haney's last fight at 130. And 135 before he moves up. So, again, it is what it is. Devin Haney's looking to retain his undisputed title. We might never get that fight with Tank Davis. We might never get that fight with Ryan Garcia. It is what it is. I'm disappointed in the state of boxing so far because there's been plenty of fights that could have been made during the summer and even going into this month that just haven't been made yet. So I'm disappointed, but it is what it is. I would have got more. I would have had that Chris Eubank fight, but unfortunately Conor Benn decided to be a cheat and get himself suspended for PEDs, so I couldn't stream that. I didn't feel like the Fundora fight was worth streaming, and this is really the only boxing that's been really worth streaming because the return of Deontay Wilder, Devin Haney, he's a good draw, so yeah, this is the only fight I could see myself streaming, and since nothing else has been made, this is what we're stuck with. I'm not ready yet. I just hope that we'll finally start getting some big fights, because there's some divisions that need to be wrapped up, and fights that are well past overdue. And I feel like certain promotional companies and some of the fighters, while they're gonna blast Guy to the moon, yeah, that's he probably gonna send him to the shadow realm tonight. Honestly, I think the Deontay Wilder fight, Tahoe, is much bigger. I felt like that fight was promoted much better than Haney Kambosos. Because Deontay Wilder is always going to be a draw because he can just, I mean, he has knockout power. You pay, you pay to see Deontay Wilder knock people out. With the first Haney Kambosos fight, with the way people kind of dragged that fight for being boring, I didn't really see this fight, being highly promoted or anything like that. I'm not saying it's a bad fight, but we've seen this chapter before. We've seen, you know, these two fighters fight each other. We saw the results. A lot of people thought there shouldn't have been a rematch. I don't think there should have been a rematch. But Haney signed the contract, and we just got to stick with that. I do think it's time for him to go from that division. At this point, he's just killing himself trying to make weight. And what else is there? What else is there for him? I mean, it's clear that Tank Davis is out of the question. As long as he's with Mayweather, that's going to cause problems. What else? Ryan Garcia never really wanted to fight him anyway, so. Right, exactly. No need for a second time. But he's only forced into the situation because nobody else wanted to step in the ring with him, so. I get it. What else is he supposed to do? He got to stay active. I mean, we saw one Tank Davis fight this year. We saw one Errol Spence fight this year. What you say? Yeah, no. I don't know what else he's supposed to do. I mean, he did sign the contract, but he only signed the contract because nobody else was willing to give him a chance. Nobody else was willing to give Devin Haney a chance. That's why he went to go fight George Kambosos, and he took advantage of it. Now he's top dog in that division, and still nobody wants to go at him. We could air out a lot of things about some of these fights, about this lightweight division, on how disappointing it's been because of all the hype and comparisons to the welterweight division. But the amount of talent in that division and the amount of talent that's not fighting each other in that division is disappointing. And it should be better. They can be better. If two guys really want to fight, they'll get in the ring and fight each other. Same thing with the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence situation. But in my mind, Devin Haney's just doing what he has to do before he moves up. He can't force other people to fight him. I personally didn't think there was a need for a second fight, but Kambosos, he pushed for the immediate rematch. I don't even think he thought he was gonna get an immediate rematch. I don't even think he wanted an immediate rematch. It was just there for him. So they're in the ring. Give me 1 second and I'll get to the commentary. Who he gonna fight at 140? There's a lot of guys at 140. Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, Jose Ramirez. Shoot, Tank is up there now. Ryan Garcia is up there now. I mean, there's nothing left for Devin Haney in the lightweight division. There's just nothing left. Unless he's going to fight Pitbull Cruz, and I don't see that either. So Devin Haney in the ring. He looks really weight drained in my humble opinion. And this fight is just, it even sounds dead in that arena. It doesn't have the same implications that it did in the first fight. It doesn't have the same hype around it. and they're trying. I could see the look in the fighters' eyes. Like right now, they're right in each other's faces, but they're trying to promote the fight the best they can. But they know this fight is just gonna be the same results. So let's get started. I mean, they went from a 50K arena to a 15K arena. So let's get it on. It's like watching last year's Super Bowl. Yeah, same results. All right, we've kicked off. Haney, Kambosos in the middle of the ring. I expect Devin Haney to do the same thing he did the first fight. Jab George Kambosos' head off. Don't let him get too close and counterpunch him. For Kambosos, I just think he's going to do the same thing as well. Rush in, try to stay in that mid-range, get his combinations off, and just keep missing like he did right there. This fight was severely underpromoted. Severely. You know, for a rematch for undisputed, you would think that you would see more ads for it. You know, especially with an American fighting for an undisputed title, you think you see more ads for it. But I didn't see no ads for, or even the semblance of promotion for this fight until what, Friday, and that was like that yesterday. That was a day before the fight when they started promoting it. So I don't know, but that it's just not. It doesn't have the same implications on it. So Devin Haney and George Kambosos in the middle of the ring. Devin Haney throws a quick little left jab. You know, his jab is perfect. It will translate well for when he moves up. But again, same thing. He's keeping George Kambosos at bay with that jab. Just hit him with another one. Moving around the ring, looks fleet-footed, and tying up when George gets too close. He's just tying up when George gets too close, not letting him smothering his power, not letting him get his combinations off. Good combination for Devin Haney in the middle of the ring. I will say George Kambosos right now, he's giving a lot of head movement, but there's nothing coming with that head movement. Maybe throw out like a little jab or something, just something for him to get close and get his punches off. Ooh, good left hand for George Kambosos. So snuck that in, and then a lot of holding so far. Back in the middle of the ring, these two fighters. Devin Haney tries to throw a jab, but Kambosos slips it. Both fighters reset. Kambosos trying to give some feints. I see. Ooh, good combination. Left-right combination for George Kambosos with overhand right. And he backed up on the ropes. He doesn't need to be there. Okay, so Kambosos came out motivated. I'm going to give that first round to him. Came out motivated, more active. He showed some different looks. You know, he was using his feints, making Devin Haney think a little bit, backing him up to the ropes. So I'll give that round to George Kambosos. He looked a little different from the first fight. I'll give him that. Where is? I don't even have my scorecard up. I got a 1-0 George Kambosos. I felt he had a good round, good first round for him. That's exactly what he needed coming into this rematch, was to get a good first round under his belt. Because last time they fought, it was not good for him. So he showed a little bit of a different look. I'm pretty sure the game plan is different. I still don't think he'll win this fight. I still think Devin Haney's just too good. But a good start for George Kambosos. Very good start. Yes, they are fighting in Australia. I think that was part of the contract. They are fighting in Australia. Round 2 is on its way. A lot of movement from both fighters. Really liking the head movement from George Kambosos right now. Wild right miss by Devin Haney. Overhand right by Devin Haney, but Kambosos responded to the body. Both fighters in the middle of the ring. Jab, jab, right hand for Devin Haney, just missed. Ooh, straight right hand for Devin Haney, just clipped George Kambosos. Not a lot of power on it, but a clean shot. Really looking for that 1-2, Devin Haney. Let's hope that doesn't get too predictable. A lot of the first fight was fought in the middle of the ring. So I expected this fight to be, mainly in the middle of the ring. I would like to see Devin Haney go to the body more. I feel like that's a big flaw in his game, is that he doesn't use his long arms to his advantage to go to his opponent's body. Leaping jab from George Kambosos just missed. A lot of movement, a lot of head movement, a lot of switching for George Kambosos, giving Haney some different looks. It seems to be working. A lot of head hunting for Devin Haney right now. Fighters tied up in the middle of the ring. Referee breaks him up. Right hand missed by Devin Haney after a jab. Fighters back in the middle of the ring. Not a lot of action. Good jab by Devin Haney. Quick. Another one for Devin Haney. Leaping left hook missed by Devin Haney. Fighters back in the middle of the ring. They reset. Overhand right missed by Devin Haney. Very much head hunting. Ooh. I think George just slipped. A lot of head hunting from Devin Haney, which is not common with him. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, and I know he doesn't mix them up as much as I would like him to, but there's a lot of head hunting right now. I don't think I've seen him throw like a clean body shot yet. Overhand left for Devin Haney just missed. Check left hook for Devin Haney. Got in. It was very fast. Didn't even see it. So, well, I don't know what I'm going to score that round. I want to go Kambosos just because he's more active. But I felt like he didn't do enough to win that round either. I don't know. I'm going to go with Haney for that second round. I know he missed a lot of punches, but I don't feel like Kambosos did enough that round. I feel like he was, he had good head movement, good feints, but he didn't work off of those. So I'm going to give that round to Haney. Haney didn't do too much that round either, but I felt more of a concerted effort to be active. So 1-1 in this fight. Hopefully, it's definitely around the same level as the first fight. Not too entertaining, but just entertaining enough to keep my interest. But going into the third round, I'd love to see Devin Haney switch up his attack right now. That is true. George Kambosos has had a lot of success so far going into this third round. Devin Haney needs to change levels. Give him a combination to the body before you start going to the head. Because right now, George Kambosos' head movement is causing a little bit of problems for Devin Haney right now. Fighters in the middle of the ring. Tied up in the middle of the ring. Referee breaks him up. Reset. A lot of switching for George Kambosos. That's weird as they exchange jabs. Ooh, good left hook by Devin Haney. It was quick. A lot of switching for George Kambosos. I actually think he's changed up the game plan a lot more, and he's having a lot more success. Oh, by the way, I think they're fighting in Melbourne. I thought they fought in Sydney last time. I might be wrong about that. Still not enough activity from Haney though. A lot of tying up, and he's not changing. He's not changing levels. Really, what Kambosos is doing right now, I think Haney should be doing, giving him a little bit of feints, giving him some head movement. Ooh, 1-2 by Devin Haney. Kind of froze George Kambosos. It was so fast. Fighters back in the middle of the ring. I will say George has been less active this round. Ooh, was that hurt? Or did he just slip? I think he just slipped. Fighters back in the middle of the ring. Now I see Devin Haney switching his levels now. Using staying active with his hands, throwing a little bit of feints out there as he just landed another 1-2 on George Kambosos. Clean right hand right over the top. Good jab by Devin Haney. Now he's getting his rhythm. Overhand right by Devin Haney, followed by a left hand. Now this looks like the Devin Haney we know. Timing, rhythm. Another overhand right by Devin Haney. Now you see the timing. Good left hook by Devin Haney. Kambosos opening up, but he gets caught by a right hook by Devin Haney again. A straight right by Devin Haney, right in the middle of the ring. There we go. That was a Devin Haney round. Good timing. I got him winning that round. Good timing by Devin Haney. Finally looked like he, got Kambosos' rhythm, and he started to time him very often with that straight right. Kambosos had no answer for that 1-2. He started using more feints, and I think that contributed to Devin Haney's success in that last round. Now, if he can keep doing that, he did some serious damage in that round. I do think he did some serious damage. The straight punches hurt way more than the looping punches. For George Kambosos, he wasn't active in the. Sounds like Haney got him figured out. Yeah, he has him figured out now. It takes a minute. I get it. It takes a minute. He's struggling to make that weight class now. It takes a minute for him to adjust. So it looks like he's downloaded the necessary data on George Kambosos right now, and he's adjusted very well. So round 3 goes to Devin Haney. We're into round 4. Both fighters in the middle of the ring. Starting to work off that jab, Devin Haney, too. Not just popping it out there and nothing coming back. Still like to see him dig a left hook to the body, though. It's right there. Especially when George Kambosos opens up. I think staying on the outside or in that mid-range is really costing George Kambosos, but I do think that, part of those reasons is that jab, especially in the first fight, really kept George Kambosos on the outside, so he couldn't get in. And every time he did get in, Devin Haney would hold on, and he wouldn't let him get his punches off. Like right now, he's initiated 17 clinches, so he's not letting George Kambosos get on the inside and throw punches. And that's smart. He's supposed to do that, as George Kambosos misses wildly with a left hand. Ooh, straight 1-2 by Devin Haney. Kind of wobbled the legs of George Kambosos there. So now, I'm looking at Devin Haney. He's hard to catch now. He's being elusive. He's being his old elusive self. 1-2, maybe at 1-2-3. Get up out of there. Get back on defense. Reset again as he just hit Kambosos with the same 1-2 over again. So now you start to see the flaws of George Kambosos show up again. Was that a headbutt? Did he just headbutt him on purpose? Good combination by George Kambosos after a headbutt. I don't know if the ref saw it, but I definitely saw it. And I think that's caused by frustration too, because every time George Kambosos gets any type, even if he gets close to Devin Haney, he's gonna initiate a clinch, and that's smart. Double left by Devin Haney. Now you see the sloppiness of George Kambosos coming out right now. He stopped doing what made him have success in those first 2 rounds. He stopped moving his head. Now he's standing still like a statue. There's no movement. He's not switching his stances as often. He's not constantly moving his hands. And he's just standing there looking for one punch. Ooh, but good left hook by George Kambosos. Nice leaping left hook. But again, one punch and done. Because guess what? Devin Haney initiates another clinch. Got to give that round to Haney. Besides a few punches in that round, I felt like Devin Haney controlled that round, didn't let Kambosos get active, froze him with that 1-2. I just think George Kambosos has went away from the things that are working, and Devin Haney has adjusted very quickly. But that's why he's the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, because he can make those adjustments. He's versatile. Right now, George Kambosos is lacking versatility, and I think his corner sees that. I think he knows that. But there's really nothing else he can do. The long arms of Haney, the great jab, and the clinches have completely taken George Kambosos out of his game. I got it 3-1, Devin Haney. Going into the 5th round. And honestly, Devin Haney looks good. He hasn't shown any signs of fatigue. Haney takes the initiative, gets control of the middle of the ring. He's outlanded George Kambosos in every round except the first one, in which they tied. Looking for that uppercut, looking for that left hook, just missed by Haney. Looking for that jab, missed by Haney. Straight 1-2 by Devin Haney lands. Another 1-2 lands for Devin Haney. Another jab lands for Devin Haney. He is standing his ground. Usually when you watch a Devin Haney fight, he's usually on his bicycle. He's not standing there. He's still active with his feet. But you can tell he's looking for that big punch. Ooh, leaping left hook by George Kambosos. But it's all, I do feel like he'd make his job easier by going to the body. If he can, invest, like Andre just said, invest to the body of George Kambosos, it will make it more difficult or easier for him to get that knockout. Both fighters in the middle of the ring. George has went back to his head movement, but again, there's no jab. He's just moving his head around. Ooh, combination by Devin Haney and with a right hand at the end. Combination to the body by George Kambosos. Just me? Is it just me, or does George Kambosos look really squared up too? Like he's really squared up, and it's making it very easy for Devin Haney to land that 1-2. Ooh, good check left hook over the top by Devin Haney. Caught Kambosos coming in. Same thing. It's the same thing as the first fight. Good timing, good jab. Keeping Kambosos on the outside. It's the same thing. Ooh, good timing right there. Right hand, quick. And timed perfectly by Devin Haney. And then you just see the wild shots of Kambosos that are missing, and he's just tiring himself out. Same thing. It's the same story. Kambosos started well, but once Haney got his rhythm down, he took everything away. And then the clinches. Looks like this will be another Devin Haney round. Again, do I even need to go into why he won this round? It's pretty much you're going to have to cut off the ring and maul him to beat Haney. That's very difficult. That is very difficult because he has long arms and a good jab. So, yeah, you can try to cut off the ring, but every time you get close, he's either going to clinch or you're not going to have time to get close because he's always popping out that jab. That jab is always active for Devin Haney. And he has a really good jab, and that keeps fighters honest. And, that's how he finds his timing. And once he does that, it's very hard to beat him. Now, say a Tank Davis maybe with his head movement and his boxing skill, yeah, he could probably cut off the ring and get to Haney. It'd still be difficult because again, Tank is short, and Haney has the reach advantage. But I feel like Tank would be the only one to be able to get to Devin Haney, at least in those divisions. So round 6, pretty much a Devin Haney fight so far. Good movement, good jab, good combinations. Ooh, and a good left hook landed by George Kambosos on the exchange. It is weird to see Haney moving forward, though. He's being the aggressor right now. Almost like stalking George Kambosos, looking for his opportunity to strike. He does want that knockout. He wants to make a statement. I don't think he'll get it, but he might. With those 1-2s like that, you keep hitting them with them 1-2s, you might go down. Just skillful from Devin Haney. People try to discredit Haney because they say his style is boring. He doesn't punch for a lot of power. But if you think about it, Devin Haney is a true practitioner of the sweet science. The whole point of boxing is to hit and not get hit. We see guys like a Pitbull Cruz or like an Errol Spence or a Deontay Wilder. Those guys are action fighters. Or even guys like Sean Porter. Those guys are action fighters. Devin Haney is not an action fighter. He's a technical fighter. People try to discredit him for that, but he's doing everything. He's not looking to please the crowd. Honestly, he could care less about what the fans think. He's doing this to win. He wants to be the best at the sport, and for him to be the best, he has to fight his style. He's never a big power puncher, but he's just like right now. He's just peppering George Kambosos with 1-2s, overhand rights, straight rights. Basically, he has the whole arsenal. And he's just teeing off on George Kambosos right now, like that jab right there. He's just so technically skilled that there's very few fighters that can adjust to that. Boxing is not all about power. You have to have skill as well. It may be a boring style, but to some people, but it's very, very effective. Very, very effective. Ooh, 1-2 over the top for Devin Haney. I mean, there's just nothing George can do right now. Ooh, that was a good body shot. That was a good body shot by Devin Haney. But you saw the way he kind of arched it. It was an uppercut to the body. And he has the long arms to do that. He'll hit you with a body shot and then just move out the way. It's incredible. If he just there are a few things he can clean up, but he has all the makings of a pound-for-pound fighter if he's not already on there. I had him on my list, but a lot of people don't have him on the pound-for-pound list. And I think that's ill-informed. People have him as a boring fighter. I know he doesn't get a lot of knockouts, but he's skilled. He's incredibly skilled. And he hasn't been beaten for a reason because of that skill. But Devin Haney is dominating right now. There's just nothing else to say. He's dominating right now, and that's because of his superior skill. You can tell the difference between him and George Kambosos. Who's the more skilled fighter? Who's the more complete fighter right now? My kick. 7th round. Pretty much the same thing for George Kambosos. He's really struggling. He only landed 12 punches last round. And that's mainly because of the skill, like I said, the skill of Devin Haney. Controlling the ring, controlling the action. There's not a lot George can do right now. Like right there, George tried to lean in with a left hook and just missed wildly. And it's not like the first fight where Haney's getting out of the way and he's only throwing a few punches. The punches Devin Haney is throwing right now are hard, and they're catching, and the timing on them is perfect. So they're rocking George Kambosos and they're breaking him down. So there's really nothing George can do. I think that's just the limitation on George Kambosos and just the skill of Devin Haney. Like, good jab by Devin Haney. Good 1-2 by Devin Haney. It's been the same thing all night. Wonder if that Wilder fight has started. I'll check it in a minute. Crowd is a good right hand, straight right hand. Ooh, another straight right hand. When you keep getting caught with punches like that, that's just, like I said, that's just the lack of skill. Again, same punch, straight right hand, another one. There's just another one. That's 7 in a row, right? There's just nothing he can do. And he does this to Tio. He does this to Ryan Garcia. There's only one fighter he probably won't be able to do that to, and that's Tank Davis. Because let's just face it, Vasyl Lomachenko, the body shot by George Kambosos right there. Because let's face it, people think Lomachenko can beat him. He's too small. And he's not going to outbox Devin Haney, period. Ryan Garcia is too stiff. And Tio doesn't make good adjustments in the ring to be able to beat him. Yeah, and you're probably thinking, well, Tank is short. Tank is a good boxer. And he works with his power. Tio is big enough. He has power, but that's the only thing he can really rely on, especially when he goes against a superior boxer. Ooh, left hand by Devin Haney. That is looking like a clean sweep so far for Devin Haney going into the 8th round. Again, superior skill. Ooh. It shook him to his core. Ooh. Look, got his legs stiffened. Anyway, Devin Haney is just dominating George Kambosos. So I wonder what's next for him after this, because I mean, look at it. The score is probably as wide as it's ever going to be. I'm just listening to this. A lot of drama going on then. But ooh. Straight right again. So it sounds like there's been a lot of drama going on in that Kambosos camp. Maybe a little bit of both. Another straight right. I mean, he's just been getting the right side of his face is just a mess. The left side of his face almost looks untouched. The right side of his face looks bad. Tank, rinse, repeat. Yeah. What do you mean by it? By tank is rinse and repeat? Please add context to that. Please explain what you mean by that, because I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. I mean, George Kambosos can let his hands go all he wants, but if he doesn't hit the target, I mean, what purpose is it serving? I mean, look at the punch. The punch discrepancy is 99 to 44 in favor of Devin Haney. I mean, ooh, good combination by Devin Haney. He's just dominating him. Now he's really out. You thought the first. Oh, you didn't mean to put Tank. Oh, yeah, it is rinse repeat. This fight is very rinse repeat. Actually, it actually is not because Devin Haney wasn't this active in the last fight. He's he's outworked George Kambosos. He's outlanded George Kambosos. There has been nothing to suggest that George Kambosos won anything but more than one round right now. It's just easy for him. So he can throw all he like, but if he can't land on the target, all he's doing is just tiring himself out. Look at his face. His face is a mess right now. I wish you guys could see his face. Good right hand, though, for George Kambosos. Good jab. George trying to put together a valiant effort. Now you see Devin Haney kind of backing up a little bit. Looking for that overhand right was George Kambosos. Of course, as soon as I say that, he went around, right? George Kambosos won that round. I thought his ending stages was really good in that round. Landed a few punches. Again, Devin Haney, I felt like he kind of took that round off. But a good round for George Kambosos. He finally was able to hit the target. Picked the shots carefully. So that's the second round given to George Kambosos. 78-74 is the current score. But let's talk about what happened in the world of boxing earlier. First, Alicia Baumgardner won her fight against Michaela Mayer on the Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall undercard. That was controversial. I didn't really get to see most of that fight, but I heard it was controversial. But either way, she won. And Claressa Shields, the GOAT, the greatest women's fighter of all time, is now three times undisputed. She's been undisputed 3 times. GOAT status. It was a great fight too. That Shields Marshall fight was great. Ooh, good right hand by George Kambosos. Timed Haney right there. That was a good round, good last round for George Kambosos. Maybe that inspired a little bit of confidence in him. Yeah, I can see that too. I think Kambosos has a go USA. Yep. I mean, Marshall fought well. She did fight well. It wasn't close, like the commentators were saying, but she fought well. But Shields is just better. I said that. Yeah, Shields is just better. There's not many people that can beat Claressa Shields. And right now, George Kambosos is having a really good round so far. There's not many people. That's a bad cut, too. Like, the cut is, like, right here. Yeah, on the eyebrow. They're not going to stop it. Yeah, because Kambosos has the same thing.
Yeah, they both cut. Both sides of the cuts. Yeah, he got a big knot in his
head.
Yeah.
Ooh, good right hand by Devin Haney. But Shields was just better. She's just better.
Yeah, big lump on the right side.
I know. You know what I mean? But when you keep getting hit with constant right hands, I mean, that's what's going to happen. Claressa Shields, she's just better. She was just better. It was a good fight. But the Shield showed why she's... Ooh, good right hand by George Kambosos. Stunned Devin Haney for a minute. Good right hand by Devin Haney. Stunned George Kambosos. Okay, now. Now we're in a war. There's just blood all over George Kambosos right now. So now it seems like Kambosos has made a little bit of an adjustment. And now he's timing Haney. There's a lot of blood coming from that. I don't think so. That's a lot of blood. How is that Haney's blood? But Oh, good right hand by Devin Haney.
Wobbled him a little bit too.
Yeah, is that a cut on George Kambosos' head?
Yeah.
Ooh, good right hand by left hand combination by Devin Haney.
This place is lethal now.
I think he's opened him up.
Yeah.
Good left hand over the top by George Kambosos. Fight getting interesting. Seems like both fighters are looking for this fight starting to get scrappy. He just tried to use his head again. I think Devin Haney won that round. Cleaner shots. More powerful
So he
shots.
got his head busted
That's
and his eyes.
That's a cut. Action fight? Yeah. That's surprising,
His head
right?
cut and his eyes cut.
Yeah.
Also.
But that was a close round.
Yeah.
That was a close round.
His head cut on one side and his eyes cut on the
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe it either. Action fight? What? Devin Haney in an action fight? I hope he proves some of the narratives wrong. This has been much more entertaining than the first fight.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the later rounds. Most people were talking crap about this fight when it was made. I was talking crap about this fight when it was made. Because I didn't think it was going to be any different. But, you know, these last few rounds have been entertaining. And George has made the adjustment. Still a 200 to 88 punch advantage for Devin Haney, but these rounds have been getting closer and closer. There's a lot of Vaseline on that side of, and that left side of George Kambosos' right side. I'm sorry. Yeah. On the right side of his face, there's a lot of his head. There's a lot of Vaseline. Thought you couldn't do that.
He got a big cut up there.
Mm-hmm. Bill Haney is standing. You see Bill Haney in the background. That's hilarious. Devin Haney's mouth is bleeding right now. Ooh, good left hand by Devin Haney. Good right hand by Devin Haney. Good right hand by Devin Haney. Good combination for Haney. Good overhand right by Devin Haney, followed by overhand left. Another overhand right for Devin Haney. He looks like he's going for a knockout. And he has George Kambosos on the ropes, and he's looking for the knockout. I think George might be hurt. I think George is hurt.
He got him hurt.
Ooh, over the top with a right hand for Devin Haney. He's looking for the knockout. Good left hand from Devin Haney. You think the ref stopped this fight?
They get ready to stop there.
Ooh, good right hand for Devin Haney. There's a lot of punishment coming from Devin Haney. George Kambosos' legs look wobbly. Another right hand over the top. It's hitting the temple area. Good combination for Devin Haney. George Kambosos is on the retreat. There's nothing coming back from George Kambosos either.
His head is bleeding again.
Yeah. He's opened him up again. Yeah. That cut is wide open on the left side of his head. I mean, this is really bleeding. But I thought I just saw some Vaseline in Devin Haney's head too. There's some Vaseline in Devin Haney's head too.
I think that's from Kambosos.
Oh, good short left hand by Devin Haney. That's why his head is bleeding.
That came out of Kambosos.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a very good fight for both fighters in the late rounds. Very active. Good double jab by Devin Haney. A lot of punishment in this round. And George has been taking a lot of punishment. I'm wondering if the corner might be considering, or the referee might be considering. Right hand over the top by Devin Haney that Kambosos exchanged with him. Let me get punishing round for Devin Haney. He was just punishing George Kambosos in that last round. I didn't think Devin Haney would come to fight like this. We knew he could fight like that, but I didn't think he was. I thought he was just going to follow the same game plan. Obviously not. He's looking for the knockout. If he had any type of power, Kambosos would be gone already. Just be aware that Wilder Helenius has not started yet, but very soon they're going to be starting. So I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. Hopefully, Deontay Wilder will eliminate Robert Helenius very quickly, so I don't be sitting here all night. But this fight has been good. I think Devin Haney is clearly winning, and I think George Kambosos needs a knockout. But it's been very entertaining, much better than the first fight. And the doctor is now checking George Kambosos, but I guess that was a very quick check. I do think Plant destroyed Durrell. He knocked out Durrell. I didn't even get to see that fight. I should have been keeping an eye on that. But everybody kind of knew that Caleb Plant was going to win that fight. Deontay Wilder getting his hands dressed right now. His hands wrapped, got the gloves on. Kambosos took a lot of punishment in that round. It was like the same type of punishment right on the side of that head. Left hook, yeah. Caleb Plant knocking somebody out. Like, it's time for Anthony Durrell to retire. It's period. That's just period. I think we've seen enough of Anthony Durrell. He had his time. It's time to retire. When Caleb Plant is knocking you out, Caleb Plant, I think it's time to retire. Didn't I say that? If Devin Haney had any type of power or one punching power, this fight would be over. Because George has been absorbing all types of punishment. Good jab by Devin Haney. Kind of slow. This round is kind of slow. It's a slower pace as, good left hook by Devin Haney just wobbled George Kambosos. So this has been a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be. It's funny that this fight was less promoted and this fight has been more entertaining than the first one. It was mispromoted. I think everybody just thought Devin Haney was going to come in with the same game plan, and he showed everybody that I can slug too. Looking for an overhand right, which George Kambosos just missed. The overhand left by George Kambosos just missed. He's bleeding again. That cut is reopened on that left eye. Starting to look like that cut is reopening on the right side of his head too. Ooh! Powerful straight right hand by Devin Haney.
He should have been down with that punch. He caught him right on the chin.
That's the thing with him. His power. If he had any sort of power, like one punch power, he would probably get a lot of knockouts. Ooh! That was more of an exchange, but clearly Devin Haney won that round. I'm not being biased. Devin Haney's just winning these rounds very easily. We're going into the last round. It's clear that on my scorecard, I got a 108-101 Devin Haney. It's clear George Kambosos is going to need a miracle. But I don't see that happening. Usually when Devin Haney is up in fights like this, he's probably going to take a step back for the last round and not do anything stupid to cost him the fight. So I think we can draw the conclusion. Well, we can't really draw any type of conclusion in boxing, but we can predict and assume that Devin Haney will be walking out of here with the titles. We'll be coming back home with the titles. Much better fight, though. Much better fight. Last round. Here we go. Yep. Look. Moving off the back foot. Not going to be too aggressive this round. He just abused George Kambosos in that ninth round. In that 10th round, I'm sorry. Ooh, straight right hand by Devin Haney. Now you start to see the more conservative Devin. Because why risk anything when you've been beating the guy up all night? Why risk it? That is true. If he had no type of power, then Kambosos would not be afraid. This timid. There were moments where Kambosos was really timid. Now, right now he isn't because he knows he needs a knockout to win. But think about it. That 10th round, Devin Haney outlanded George Kambosos 34 to 1. 34 to 1. That was the punishment round. But right now, Devin's just cruising. He knows he's won this fight. So he's trying to avoid making any type of crucial mistake. Ooh, good uppercut by George Kambosos. I said that, didn't I? He has fought a more entertaining fight. I didn't think his last fight was not entertaining if you really like boxing. It just wasn't. Ooh, you see, if he had any type of power, if he did have knockout power, that he would have been gone right there. That was a perfectly timed right hand, like right there, another straight right hand. They got 50 seconds. Can George Kambosos make something happen? Let's go Wilder. I think Wilder's getting ready to come out of the tunnel soon. I'm keeping an eye on it. Hopefully, I think Wilder's weighing in at 213 this fight. So he's really skinny this fight for a heavyweight. Like he's just barely making heavyweight. I think that suits him though. Much lighter, more speed, to where he can uncork that devastating right hand and just destroy whoever is in front of him. All right, we are done here. Devin Haney will retain his undisputed title. At least I hope. You never know with these judges. But what a complete performance by Devin Haney. He showed the skill. He showed the aggression. Combinations. He knows he's won. And yeah, he's undisputed yet again. He retains his undisputed title. Hopefully he'll move up. I really want to see him move up because this really should be his last fight at 135. I mean, the way the contract was structured with him, I do think he has one more fight, and that might be against Vasyl Lomachenko. But that is not confirmed, nor has either fighter come out and said that. So, we'll see. But Devin Haney did what he was supposed to do tonight. He showed why he is undisputed, and he actually proved everybody wrong and fought a really good fight, complete fight. Now we get to watch. Now we're going to look at the opposite. We're going to look at Deontay Wilder destroy Robert Helenius. I actually like Robert Helenius. I don't think he's a scrub. I think he's a good heavyweight. There's a reason he's in a title eliminator, but he's just, it's Deontay Wilder, and everybody loves him. And he's just going to knock him out. He's just going to send him into the shadow realm. It's nothing personal. It's just business. So, I need to get into this Tank thing real quickly. I'm just saying, with the talent that Tank Davis has, you look at Devin Haney, and no offense to Devin Haney, but he doesn't have the star power like a Tank Davis. You can put Tank Davis on any fight, and people are going to watch it. Why? Because he's Tank Davis. He gets the star-studded knockouts, and he's the easily promoted fighter. But you look at Tank Davis, And you look at Devin Haney and you compare the two, and you look at their resumes tell a completely different story. Devin Haney is more accomplished. He's been undisputed. He's beat the man that beat the man that beat the man. I think that might be a glitch on their end. That's not me. It's a glitch on their end. Or maybe it is me. Robert Helenius is making his way to the ring. And I lost it, of course. Shame, really. But you look at those two guys, and you just look at Tank Davis, and you're disappointed because he's had. You look at the opportunities that he could have had Vasyl Lomachenko. He could have had Devin Haney multiple times. Ryan Garcia, those fights are there to be made, and they haven't. And he still hasn't fought anywhere near close to the top of that division. Jose Pedraza should not be the thing you are hanging your hat on. So it's just been disappointing to see the contrast and the duality of these two very great fighters' careers. Still undisputed. I mean, George said he thought he could have won the first fight. I don't think there's any doubt in his mind or anybody else's mind that Devin Haney won this fight clearly. There's no doubt. I'm getting ready to switch to Wilder Helenius because who wants to see this post-fight interview, really? I'm finna switch. Nobody wants to see that. We already knew what was going to happen. We should already know what's going to happen with Devin Haney. He's either going to move up or he's going to fight Vasyl Lomachenko for his last fight at 135. Good to see him win. He dominated.
That was a tremendous display. But we can turn this way, Devin. It was the left-handed June.
He don't even look interested in this fight interview. Like, look at him. He's not interested in that. I'm finna switch to Wilder. Tank gets complacent at times and gives away rounds. Yes, he does. But you know why? Because he's so confident in his own power and the competition he's fighting that the competition will do all the work for him. They'll win their early rounds and then they'll do something stupid and run straight into a left hand, and then they don't remember anything when they wake up. That's the thing with Tank. He can lose rounds. He can afford to lose rounds against guys like that. If George Kambosos was, he's more competent than Rolly Romero. But you think if Devin Haney was fighting, Ryan Garcia or Teofimo Lopez, you think he could afford to lose rounds? I don't think he can afford to lose rounds because he's not the same power puncher that Tank is. It's true. Devin Haney cannot afford to lose any rounds. He has to be nearly perfect because his style is not overly entertaining, even though he can do that. He's not a power puncher. So, I mean, he basically has to rely on his skill and technicality. Tank, he can do that, but, he has the power. He can just wipe you away. He's like Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder can lose rounds. But, the X factor is that right hand, and if he lands it, you're most likely going to be gone. Unless you're Tyson Fury, who is the literal Undertaker, because he got up from 3. There's not a lot of guys that can do that. But Deontay Wilder, Robert Helenius. I figured I'd go ahead and stream this one too. Figured this fight should end particularly quickly. Hopefully we don't get a shocker because Helenius does have pretty good power himself. And this is the sport of boxing and anything can happen. But Wilder looks slimmer than he did. And he looks focused. And he looks like he just made a lot of money on this fight. This is an eliminator. I don't know. Yeah, this is an eliminator. I don't know if this is the final eliminator. Because Andy Ruiz beat Luis Ortiz. So this could be more like a preliminary eliminator, you could say. Because people want to see that fight between him and Ruiz. We'll see. You know, Deontay is going to try to take at least one more shot at the title. And but don't sleep on Robert Helenius. I think he's an okay fighter. I think this was a good fight to make. I know Deontay Wilder is an Adam Kodnacki. And he's not going to stand still and get hit by the same thing over and over again like Kodnacki. But, you know, Helenius is a good fighter, and he does have a bit of pop to his punches. But we'll see. See, he's light. 214, that's light for him. Actually, no. That's actually his actual weight. Because 230 was heavy for him. I think his second fight with Tyson Fury, he weighed in at 240, if I'm not mistaken. So he was overbearing. All right, Deontay Wilder back in action. And you know, Deontay Wilder, he starts slow, except when he feels like he needs to pick it up. But these are heavyweights, so one punch from him or any heavyweight will possibly knock you out or eliminate you in the ring. So heavyweights are usually more cautious than other fighters. I'm excited though. Always a treat to watch Deontay Wilder. Have I done a stream for Wilder? I've done a stream for Wilder. I did that Fury fight. I don't think I did all. I think I did the last one and then the second one. All right, here we go, Deontay Wilder. Both of these guys look long and slow. It's been a minute since I've seen Deontay Wilder in the ring, so I can't even remember his original stance. I know that's not his original stance right there, and he's giving a lot of movement right now. I guess that's a good thing to see. Helenius looks for a right hand to the body, just missed. Helenius around the same size, if not a little bit bigger than Wilder. Take it like this. Robert Helenius is budget Tyson Fury. Who? Which one? He is slow. He's incredibly slow. So not, like I said, the heavyweights always start slow. Wilder with a wild right hand just missed. At some point, he's going to catch Robert Helenius. I like the movement right now by Deontay Wilder. That's something we haven't seen before. Don't blink. It's very difficult. I'll try not to. I've already failed. Because he can erase somebody within a second. Y'all remember the Dominic Brazil fight? Ooh, good. He called him Fury? He just called Robert Helenius Fury. I told you, budget Tyson Fury. Y'all remember the Dominic Brazil fight when he erased Dominic Brazil from this existence? Or the second Luis Ortiz fight? A lot of movement for Wilder right now. However, I would like to see something. I like to see him working off that movement. Give a couple jabs. He's actually fainting, but he first round too. Yeah, he'll erase somebody in the first round. Ooh, good left hook. Check left hook. It's over.
It's over. He gone.
It's over. Check left. Well, congratulations, Tahoe. You just predicted it. Check left hook. That's something new. He just erased Robert Helenius with a check left hook off the back foot. And he's gone too. Helenius is like staring up at the sky.
Yeah, that was quick.
Well, I said we went.
That's the second round?
No, this is the first round. He's out too. He just said that. Well, congratulations, Tahoe. You just predicted that. Don't blink. He erased Robert Helenius with a check left hook. I need to see the replay. I gotta see the replay. What a knockout for Deontay Wilder. That's a way to return to the ring. Now, where you at, Usyk? Usyk.
She's way more lighter than that.
I feel like Usyk would be better competition for than Robert Helenius because he wouldn't get caught by that check left hook. I mean, he knocked Robert Helenius out with a check left hook. When have you ever seen Deontay Wilder knock somebody out with a check left hook off the back foot? I want to see the replay. That was really quick, too. Well, I would rather say, where's Andy Ruiz at? He's been begging for a Wilder fight. Let's give him one. He's still down. I don't know if he's just selling it or did he really just. I think he just got knocked. I think he just got knocked out cold.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We got to see the replay. Let's see. Oh, it was a right hand.
It was a right hand.
It was a straight right hand off the back foot.
Yeah, he caught him with the bomb. Caught him with that.
Oh yeah, he wiped him out.
Yeah, he caught him with the sledgehammer.
Never mind. It was a counter shot.
Yeah, he caught him with the sledgehammer.
I didn't even get to score the fight. I didn't even get to score it.
He
He caught him with a straight right hand.
Yeah, he got hit with the sledgehammer.
And he was out.
Yeah, hit that right hand.
He didn't see a thing. Well, that's an interesting way to return to the ring. That's what I'm saying. It seemed very quick to be a
flash.
yeah. Remember that Tank fight when Tank caught him with that left hand? Andy Ruiz gonna get the same thing. I mean, look at it. That's a check right hook. That's a check right. That's a check right.
His feet.
I know, right?
I don't know. You think he's selling that?
No,
He's too straight.
No, he got clocked. He got clocked. Look at this. Look at this right hand. Nah, he out. He's out. That didn't look fake. I think he got
I mean,
him.
he caught him, but you think he caught him that good to knock him out?
I mean,
like that?
think about when Tank caught Romero. when he was on the ropes.
That was an uppercut. He leaned into that uppercut.
But it wasn't. He didn't do that with all his power, and he was on the back foot. He caught Helenius clean, and he caught Romero clean too. And it was the same thing. And Romero woke up and didn't know where he was. And even if he did sell it, it was still a very good punch, and he didn't see it.
He got him. He caught him, man. You can't deny that. He got him.
So where does Wilder go from here? Anthony Joshua? Tahoe, what you think of an Anthony Joshua fight? Wilder versus Joshua. That'd be a good fight for both of them. I think he caught him clean with that. That was a good punch.
I thought this was going to be on watch. I really didn't want to see this. I knew he was going to watch it.
You know, I figured since it was in the same Joshua scared, yeah. But he needs it. He does need. I think he needs Wilder more than ever. Think about it. It'd be a good way for them to revive their careers into superstardom. And they put an ice pack on the back of this dude's head. I don't think he caught him that badly. If he really caught him badly, he wouldn't even be up right now. Yeah, Joshua is scared though. Ain't he getting ready to fight like some YouTube personality or celebrity personality or something? Or was that Tyson Fury, some Instagram dude or whatever? She fought years ago. I mean, that's undisputable, but now would be a good time. I think it'd be good timing. They want to revive their careers. They want to get back into the championship window. I mean, think about it. I mean, if you think about it, Tyson Fury was willing to give Joshua a fight after he lost to Usyk.
Yes, first, I'd like to thank God, man. If you give God the glory, he'll give you the victory. And tonight, he gave me the victory tonight. It's just amazing to be back in Brooklyn. It's like a second home to me. This arena is like a second home to me. Brooklyn!
It makes sense for sure, yeah.
What's up,
I
baby?
don't think Wilder knows what to say during this interview.
When I came off the plane and set my foot on the ground, I just felt the great energy. I felt the love.
I'd watch that fight. I think Joshua should do it. What you got to lose? What are you scared for? What really does he have to lose? Now think about it. You get knocked out. Joshua was scared of getting wiped out. He's scared of what had just happened to Robert Helenius. But I don't get the point. He's looking to get back into superstardom. What's the point of ducking now? He has to fight somebody. And nobody wants to see another Andrew Reeves fight. Nobody wants to see that. I just don't like AJ. That's fair. And I don't think a lot of people do like AJ after his latest performance and his outburst after that fight. But at the same time, he's looking for a fight to get back into superstardom. Why not Deontay Wilder? At this point, it's better late than never. They're both looking for something to boost them back into that championship status. Honestly, Wilder has more control. So whatever Wilder says, it's going to happen. Because he has all the control because he's already won a title eliminator. I think he got him. I think he caught him clean. I think Everett looked at the dude in the back. He knew it. Not a lot of people like AJ. And that's, but at the same time, it'd be perfect for He did his head on the back of the ring, though. The back of his head on the ring, so I keep an eye on that for sure. I think that's why he was down for so long. Might have got concussed. But, what do you have? I like the fight, but I don't think AJ is up for it. I don't think he is either, but I'm just saying that would make sense for him. That makes sense for him. What is Eddie Hearn gonna get? He's gonna put him in there with a guy that's gonna get knocked out within 2 rounds, and then he put him back in there with a guy like Tyson Fury. Ooh, he just called that Alexander Usyk. He just ethered Alexander Usyk. Don't. It would be the most sensible matchup. Yeah, it would be. I don't know if you want to go straight to Usyk after your first fight back. That might not be smart. Because I don't care what nobody said. That Ukrainian dude is crazy. And he'll be crazy enough to take that fight. Because he said if he doesn't get Tyson Fury, he'll retire. But he said if I don't get Tyson Fury, I'll fight Wilder. Usyk said he'll fight Wilder if he doesn't get Tyson Fury. That's the 3 fights he wants. Wilder, was it Wilder, Ruiz, and Fury? But very good night. That was a good night of boxing. I think it was very entertaining. It was Devin Haney retained his undisputed title. Deontay Wilder, as predicted, wiped out. Right, knocked out Robert Helenius. I missed most of the undercards. Dang, you got knocked out by Caleb Plant like that? Really? And that was personal for him, too. No, they don't like each other. Darrell been talking mad crazy about that man, and he got what he wanted, and he didn't like it very much.
That's a good shot. He actually called it.
That's what I'm saying. All right, I'm going to get up out of here. I can end it on a good note. But we'll see where Deontay Wilder goes from here. Hopefully, he'll get a good fight. Thanks, pal. Thanks again, pal. Until next time, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like on the stream. I'm going to get up out of here. We'll see what happens in the coming months with those 2 fighters, Wilder and Haney. I'm out. Peace.